once again, and welcome to the Haven Financial Group radio show. I'm Larry Colvig, founder and CEO of the Haven Financial Group. Every week talking about retirement, what's going on in the economy, how to plan for retirement, all those puzzle pieces, not because it's so much fun, but it can be exciting, or it can be very daunting, and our job is to keep things as simple as possible. If you're listening this morning and have questions, feel free to give us a call, 612-504-8400. havenfinancialgroup.com, info@havenfinancialgroup.com if you want to send us an email, or simply, again, call us, whether not today, sometime during the week. There is no cost to come in and visit with us on any retirement topics. We're going to we'll take you through our process, probably ask questions you've never heard before, and from that, you may actually learn something and find out you're in a better position or maybe a worse position, but at least you're going to have a good idea of where you sit for retirement.
Which is so important. It's so important. Today we're talking about some of the things that you want to make sure you don't forget as you put together that retirement plan. We've just talked about healthcare and how very important it is. And again, if you need an expert to get involved with you, the folks there at Haven Financial Group certainly can help you answer so many questions that I know many people have. We also want to talk today about if you don't have a pension, there might be some other ways to sort of fulfill what it is that pensions do for retirees, which is something really great, Larry. I mean, unfortunately, it's something of our parents' ages, but pensions, like Social Security, becomes steady income for people who have them, but not so many companies are offering that anymore.
They're not. It's a kind of a thing of the past. But for those that do have pensions and you're listening, you're going to love that pension. I found it interesting, studying for this week a little bit, that pensions, for the trivia buffs out there, pensions for military veterans date back to ancient Rome. So they date back a long time ago with the Roman Empire providing benefits to their veterans. Now, in the United States, interesting, the American Express Company established the first private pension plan back in 1875. So they go back a long time, with military pensions existing since the Revolutionary War. Interesting enough, the Social Security Act of 1935 was later established. So these were income streams. And I say this frequently, that it's all about income, mailbox money, what income is going to come in on a monthly basis. And for many, when I started many, many years ago, pretty much everybody had some sort of a pension. You worked for a company for years, and they rewarded you by giving you a paycheck for life. And maybe if you're married, you elected spousal continuation. And now those are really less than 10% have pensions. Right. So now what?
Right.
Well, you don't want to live just on your Social Security check. At least most don't, and I don't think that'd be a good idea. So how do you replace that? And why did they take them away? It's really cost cutting, because it put a lot of stress on the companies, that they would have to pay out for a long time. So they decided to replace that with, as we know them, employer-sponsored plans, 401ks, 403bs, thrift savings plan, deferred comp. I'm just mentioning all these types of employer plans. Now, incidentally, they have different names, but most of them would be pre-tax money. However, now Roths are available in many of them. And now it's put on the individual to be able to save. It shifts the responsibility from the companies, from the employer, which was what they were looking to do, onto the individual. And that can be good or can be bad. Now, I will say that pensions in recent years, there's some pensions that are not financially in good shape. Recently, in the last couple of years, there has been one that was bailed out by the government, and that's never a good thing. But in this case, I have several clients that it was Central States that actually got bailed out, and it actually helped some of my clients who retired with that pension, because some pensions can go belly up, and the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation is insurance for pensions. But if it goes to that, you're going to get a fraction of really what you think you're going to get. So there's the risk of underfunding, which would require reduced benefits. Again, there can be failure. And now the 401k, now the failure could lie on the individual. And that's kind of a detriment to retirement planning. to some degree.
Sure, absolutely. So what we wanted to talk about is if you don't have a pension, there are some other options. Now, obviously 401k, that's the other option for people who have worked for other companies and have had that opportunity to put money away. What are some other maybe options for people who are looking for a steady stream for income but don't have a pension and maybe didn't have a 401k?
Yeah, then you're getting into the annuity conversation in most cases, which act very similar to the pension, which can act very similar to Social Security. It's why I teach classes the truth about annuities. If you're looking to have a self-directed pension, you can use annuities, income annuities, which, by the way, all annuities are through an insurance company. You turn X amount of dollars over to the insurance company. In return, they'll send out, if you're looking for income, a guaranteed lifetime income feature that most of our clients, if they choose this, will get it for the rest of their life. And just like the pension, when they turn it on, they'll have the ability to look for spousal continuation, where those paychecks will last for both them and their spouse's life. So it's not the same as Social Security or a pension, but it acts very similarly. And for many, it's a self-directed pension with various options in there. I don't want to get overwhelming with the info, but annuities are often used, but it doesn't limit it to that. It could be laddered CDs. It could be a bond ladder. It could be a variety of different things, but they don't offer the guarantee. Only insurance companies, like or dislike, can offer guaranteed income for the rest of your life. And so is it appropriate for the listeners out there? I have no idea. For some people, they don't need income. I had clients of mine in last week. They both had pensions. They both have Social Security. They have more income. And they go, we're very fortunate. I go, at least you know that. They have no income problems at all. What we used there was just something for accumulation. Annuities can be used for accumulation purpose. So, back to that 401k, what it did though is it opened up some better investment options. Now you can, as the individual, control the investments. Could be good or bad depending upon how well versed you are. But again, that 401k, it could have a lack of guaranteed steady income if you keep it in there. And then of course, you have the risks of the market, which we help people on, because a lot of times you're only given so many options for the investments in the 401k. If you're listening and you don't know what you're invested in, I think you should. And a lot of times people will provide their 401k menu options, and we'll give them some advice on what we think. And then, of course, there comes a time when you're going to roll those 401ks over. So at the end of the day, you need income for the things you want, food, shelter, clothing. And then you're going to need income for the things you want to do, a lifestyle, a country club, whatever that is. How are you going to generate that income? If you don't know that answer, you might want to have a conversation to figure out what that answer is, rather than getting to the retirement finish line and go, now what?
Right.
And that's where we at Haven can fit into this puzzle to assist you in figuring how do I do it? We'll show you how.
Absolutely. And one other note, if you're someone who your employer does offer a 401k or that exists out there, obviously that is something you want to get involved in as quickly as you possibly can for accumulation purposes. And again, if someone is a little bit younger in their life and they're looking to make some decisions, you guys at Haven can help them make those decisions.
We definitely can. We definitely can. Again, you said it right. Get started early, start putting it away. Even if you have to increase it 1%, you're not going to notice it, but it will add up with compounding returns. This segment on pensions, the shift away from pensions truly changed the game. It really, really did. But if you want to stay ahead of the times and make sure your finances adapt, we can help you create a plan. It certainly can be done. The future of your retirement is completely dependent on what you do now in the moment, not what you do 10 years from now, but right now. So feel free to give us a call. Make sure you're truly prepared for the retirement road ahead, the golden years, which they call retirement. I hope they are golden, but unfortunately, a lack of planning
sometimes they're not so golden, and that's what we want to avoid.
All right, so let's give everybody the number. It's 612-504-8400. You can also go to havenfinancial.com, learn more about Haven Financial Group and some of those educational seminars that are coming up this fall. But give them a call and tell them you heard us here on the radio. You'd like to come in and talk about putting together a portfolio. 612-504-8400. Coming up next, the importance of maintaining and rebuilding an emergency fund. This is the Haven Financial Group Radio Show.